And we are live with session 51 of our Drown Gods campaign. And let's get started. As always, everyone please reset your hero point pools to 1. And I have been reliably informed we do have Akalupu notes for today. So let's get started with those.
All right. Sorry, I had to zoom in. We all gather around the gumbo pot to talk about what to do next. G tells us that she's been trying to send the local writers to start a fire, but they haven't been coming back. We begin to climb up the rope ladders, and as we head to the right of the waterfall, it begins to warm up. Even the rocks are getting warm now. We find the stopping part and slip up. As we slip up, we see a waterfall of clouds pour over the cliff. As the clouds get thicker and thicker, we get to the top, but I see that we're running up the ladder. So we send myself up the rope to drop the rope down and finish the ladder. We press the top and find that side of the misty flame filled with stone statues. We cross the magic line where there's magic on one side and not on the other, and a creepy voice tells us to answer riddles to move forward. We get them all right after forever because Sammy is slow.
Oh, jeez.
That's it.
Nice. You didn't write down the clue that Snake Lady gave us?
Yeah, come on, dude.
We're winning at riddles.
I think all of us will remember that before you enter the tower, you must enter the tower.
See, now where would you be without that? Huh?
Right. When you get to the tower, first go into the tower before going to the tower.
Exactly. Guys, it's really simple.
Yeah.
It's not trigonometry here.
It sounds to me like there's 2 towers, but we'll see.
Yeah, my guess at the current moment is that it's like a reflection of the tower in a lake, because there's that lake around the tower. And that somehow the reflection is involved, but hopefully it will become slightly more evident as we approach.
It just gets more obscure. That would be funny. And mean.
Turns out it's actually completely the wrong advice. She just told it to us to get us killed.
Right. OMG, that was like the most annoying thing we have ever had to do. I'm like tempted to go back in there and like kick her face just for doing that to us. If we weren't in such a hurry, I'd say we should actually go in there and like roast her.
I think we should move forward. She's not worth it.
Yeah, once we're done with this whole tower thingy, we will be back. I know you can't hear us, Snake Lady, but you better watch yourself.
Could say she better check herself. Right.
Yeah, F around and find out. All right, well, so what is in front of us? We got to the top of the cliff. And we've just passed this opening that was like right past the cliff. I know that there's a thick mist. Has that cleared up at all after we got through that area, or is it still pretty hard to see?
That area is pretty kind of misty. It's still a little foggy, but not like, unnaturally so.
Okay, so we can see better now.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, so you look and you see what appears to be sheer kind of cliffs. And beyond those,
in front of us?
In front of you.
All right, going which direction? Are these like more cliffs we need to climb?
So actually, you look and you see that there are some channels and canyons that kind of cut through these mountains. I'm sorry, these not these mountains, but these like more cliffy, imposing areas, out of which flows that river. And beyond that, if you look up a little bit, you'll see some more foothills. And then beyond that, you see the giant mountain. But in between, you just see the very tip, just above the hills, So the second, I guess, range. The second. I don't know. So you got the canyons. You've got the foothills, and then behind the foothills, but not quite to the mountain, you see the very tip of what looks like a giant tall tower.
All right, and the foothills are at a level with the top of the cliff, right?
The foothills are at a level with the top of the cliff. Is that what you asked?
So if we climbed the cliff that has the canyons through it, we would then be at ground level with the base of the foothills.
It kind of looks like it's like this like jaggedy, rocky kind of like canyon area. And if you look at the foothills, you see a stream of water, like a big river. It looks like a stream because, you know, you're way the heck back here. That's how perspective works. You see a river that goes down into the canyons and just kind of weaves its way out until you finally see it exiting at the mouth of one of the canyon entrances. Or I should say, you see it going into the canyon, and then you see out of one of the many canyon openings, the river come out of the canyon.
Out of only one of the openings? Or is it like, is the stream splitting and going through all the canyons, or is the river only going through one of them?
You can't tell, but you only see one exit, like one river leaving the canyons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how much of the canyon is filled with the river? Is it like the entire floor of the canyon is basically just a river, or is it something where the river is like a small part of the canyon and we could hike around the sides?
It looks like it's a small part of the canyon, and like you could hike around the sides.
All right. Well, at least that like gives us something to follow, because if like the river's up there and also down here, we like, you know, follow it and we can't get too lost in this whole windy canyon nonsense. And yes,
I mean,
Yasuka is still in a bad mood. So like, if you guys don't remember that from last session, that she was in a bad mood, she still is.
Yasuka, always a peach. Alrighty. Well, guess we just forge into the canyons. Crap. Map.
Don't you think we should stay above the canyons?
Nah, listen here, son. Much as it might surprise you to know this, but I've actually been this way before. I don't know if they're still there, but there be some, well, let's just say some unpleasant things that prowl the top of these canyons. You want to be, just trust me when I say you want to be down in the canyons. You get what I'm saying?
Special birdies that attack things that fly.
A what?
So is it more special birdies that attack things that fly?
Let me just say, you ain't gonna be out in the open, sitting duck on top of them there canyons. Besides, who even knows what you're getting on top of them? You have to go around for miles trying to find a way across the gulches. It practically crisscross the entire canyon. Thus, the term canyon.
Yeah, and water like takes the path of least resistance, so honestly, following the river is probably going to be the most straightforward way to get there anyway.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with the purple one.
Yeah, well, you did say that you're like a different person at this altitude or whatever, so it like makes sense, I guess.
Oh, you are right. See, green again. Good gravy. Somebody check my vitals, whatever those are.
Akalupi, do you think you're strong enough to pull us up the river?
We
Like
could
swim us up the river?
Just Akalupu goes full shark mode, and just we all jet ski up the river with him dragging us.
I like that. All those in favor of this plan?
Well, I mean, I probably could, but it seems that there's enough land on either side for us to walk on it.
Yeah, plus we like don't have a boat because it's like at the bottom of this whole giant cliff, or I guess I should say giant cliff. And Yasuka points to the cliff that we just climbed.
All right, we'll take the boring way.
All right, now, son, don't get me wrong. If you want to go scouring across the top of them there canyons, you can be my guest.
So we're doing,
But
JB.
don't tell me to tell your...
JB, you haven't been listening to us. We're walking next to the river. We're not climbing up nowhere.
Yeah, besides PPOB, like, this could be a good chance for you to, like, get used to your horse form on, like, rough terrain or whatever, because of all, like, the rocks around.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll race you.
I don't know if splitting the party is a great idea, but we could do smaller races. Or we could just run and see what happens. Like, whatever finds us, we could probably run the other direction faster than it. So, sure,
Yeah,
why
maybe
not?
not the smartest, but would be fun.
All right, sure. Yasuka and I are gonna go sprinting roughly how many miles does it look between us and the foothills?
It's about a mile.
All right, well then we will do like a half mile
Canyons? Do you mean the foothills or the canyons?
between our current location and the foothills past the canyons.
Oh, it's probably about... It's like a good 2.5 miles. But there's like a canyon in between y'all and the foothills.
Yeah, the canyon goes toward the foothills, at least eventually, if the river is running through it.
Yeah, you'd have to enter the canyon first. Right
Yes.
now, y'all are not in the canyon.
Correct.
Yeah, cool. Sorry.
All
They're
right.
asking how far. Yeah.
So yeah, Yasuka and PPOP will go on. Will do a mile-long race. Is there like a roughly mile-long race? Is there some sort of a landmark we can see from here that could be the end point?
You can see the entrance to the canyon, which is about a mile away.
All right, that works.
That's what
Perfect.
you're asking.
PPOP and Yasuka are going to race in their unicorn forms to the entrance of the canyon.
Alrighty. Let's get what would that be, an athletics?
That's what I was just looking up. What is running? See, athletics is the high jump and long jump and swim and all that. So yeah, I would say probably an athletics check. The way I would do this one for like a race between different people is that you would set a challenge rating of some number, let's say 30, and then both people roll until one person reaches a total of 30, and then that person wins, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Let me see. We're going to do I tell you what it is or no?
It's up to you. Generally, I haven't seen any reason to not. So I usually tell people what the rating is, but you can also just have us roll until and describe how it goes until one of us reaches the end. That's fine as well.
He said generally no, but you can.
Well, generally you don't tell them so.
Yeah, generally he doesn't tell people.
Can
just
Abe
because
not
it
hear
doesn't
me?
matter, but yeah, his phone died.
Yeah.
Which one said disconnect?
And I hit the disconnect button.
Yeah, so basically, it just depends on the experience you're going for, whether you're treating it like a normal DC and you want them to know the endpoint, or if you would rather do it more narratively and have them roll, describing how it goes at each step until you reach the endpoint. And then they don't know when that endpoint is.
All right, we'll do that second option. All right, as you survey, do you want to get a perception? Well, nah, you guys, there's nothing like hidden. As you survey the ground between the entrance to the canyon and where you're currently at, you see it's kind of a rocky terrain with a little bit of like bumps and dips here and there. Mostly, you just see that it's very some of the places is covered in grass, some of it's exposed rock. And it's that way for about a mile until the precipitous rise of a canyon.
Well, the cliffs on the sides of the canyon, right? I assume that we are approaching toward ground level of the canyon, and then the cliffs rise on either side?
That is correct.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, anything y'all would like to say? Maybe get a quick bit before you start your.
Yasuka should cheat and just fly just barely off the ground.
That'd be hilarious.
No, that'd be super obvious because when she flies, she has like giant blue wings. So not something she can hide. Not like, electrifying a poor little boy that you then murder later.
Hey, he wanted to be murdered. He found a way to be useful in death in a way that he just couldn't be in life.
Alright, Yasuka is gonna be like, PPOP, or not PPOP, Akalupu, come get us a 1, 2, 3, go or whatever. And then she's gonna kneel down in a ready stance.
PPOP awkwardly shuffles his hooves and trying to figure out what a runner stance looks like in a horse's body.
Yeah, it's basically just two of the feet are kind of bent and ready to push off. So anyway, I don't need to get into how running works for four-legged animals, but yeah. Basically getting ready to push off very suddenly with your hind legs.
Akalu grabs a couple of white cloths and stands in front and kind of beside them and cocks one of his hips to one side, holding both flags up in the air. Says, ready, set,
ready. Let's get athletics rolled. Probably pull out a calculator.
Oh, 5.
Ooh, not a strong start. Yasuka starts out with a 16.
Alrighty.
As expected, PPOP completely trips off of the starting line because he did not understand how the hind leg thing was supposed to happen.
Yeah, or more likely, maybe you don't brace enough with your front feet, and so you kind of trip a little bit after you push off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Yasuka, being the show-off that she is, she's raced plenty of people, so she just takes off like a greyhound.
Alrighty. Next set of rolls.
10.
Alright, Yasuka not doing quite so much, but she has a 13 this time.
Alright, people, do you want to
warmed up?
So that's PPOP at 15, Yasuka at 29.
I gotcha. Does PPOP want to describe how he's kind of start to surge?
I'm not surging. I'm falling further behind.
Well, you're going faster than when you started.
Yeah.
You're building up steam.
That's what I said. I said I'm just getting warmed up.
There we go. All right, as Yasuka kind of maybe takes it a little bit easier.
Yeah,
you
she
noticing
like
how
notices PPOP's start, and like partially because she feels bad and partially because she's trying not to laugh, she slows down a little bit.
All right, next roll.
3.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
no! I can't even roll that poorly. Like I have a +7 in athletics. I could roll a 1 and still get better than that.
Yeah, I have a +1. This was never gonna be a win.
Oh no!
Hey, you know, you won at archery and you got gumbo. That's what matters. And to be fair, Yasuka really did think this was a good opportunity for you to get more comfortable in your unicorn form, so this is actually doing exactly that.
Right.
And Yasuka got a 24, so we're now at 18 for PPOB,
Yeah, and I
53 for
literally can't roll that
Yasuka.
high.
Did you say 53?
Yeah, 53 for Yasuka.
All right, Yasuka, do you want to just describe what you did exactly to just like... Is she flying?
No. So PPOP like obviously has had a lot less time running around with 4 legs, and especially in like rougher terrain, is not familiar with, you know, doing this kind of thing. Yasuka's been doing this her entire life and has always been like a bit of a speed demon. Both when she's flying and on land. So she just immediately takes off. She does look back for a second and to see PPOP struggling a bit. Have I hit the finish line? Am I narrating all the way to that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But you can see...
So she like hesitates for
the
she hesitates for a moment when she sees PPOP struggling a bit, but then her competitive instincts take over and she just like surges even further ahead because she just like can't allow herself not to go all out.
All right, PPOP. Let's get another. Let's get a nat 20.
You can do it.
12.
Hey, it's not already.
It's not bad.
And yes, Yasuka.
Yasuka got an 8 actually.
What were you at? 50.
So it's now PPOP 30, Yasuka 61.
All right, Yasuka, you just barely. You go a little bit farther. You'd say about like 1 unit past the finish line. You want to describe how you accomplish such a feat?
So
you're slowing down to like a canter at the end there.
Yeah, so Yasuka like can't allow herself to lose, so she does just kind of blast ahead, but looking back again realizes that PPOP is only around the halfway point, you know, still you know, having some trouble dealing with the loose rocks. And she's almost to the end, so she actually kind of turns around and starts walking backward while trying to call out encouragingly to PPOP. It's probably not working. It's probably just making him feel worse that she's winning by walking backward for the last part. But she does go slower than he is going forward on this last section. So she's like, you can do it, PPOP. Now just like, you gotta like aim your hoof like around the rock to get to the flat ground past it and then like kind of push off.
All right.
Yeah,
So
thank you for that advice. Run faster, I guess.
for the rest of the session, what's like something that would that be like something that makes you more sure-footed? Would that be like dexterity, or would that be like agility?
I don't know. What would you like?
Athletics.
What do you use for rough
Right,
terrain?
I feel like since we're using athletics, I should be training my athletics.
Athletics?
Yeah, I would say that makes sense.
Okay, for the rest of this session, why don't you give yourself a +1 to athletics?
Hey, you
And
doubled
then
your athletics.
Yasuka, you get a little confidence boost from your just absolute, you know.
She still got it.
You still got it. What would be something? I guess like give yourself a hero point.
Sure, works for me. Oh, speaking of which, how many hero points does Anna get for her Akalupu notes today?
Oh, Akalupu notes get 2 as always. One for the recitation, and then 1 for the dramatization.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Hey, that was actually like pretty good. This is like the first time you've really gone running with 4 legs. Like, you remember when I was like learning how to do it with 2 legs and I kept like falling on my face and you had to like catch me that one time I fell off the roof? You remember that?
Sorry, I lost you at the end. What did you say?
She was saying that you were doing really well for your first time running with 4 legs, and then she was saying like, you remember when I was first learning how to like walk with 2 legs and I kept falling down on my face, and there was like that time you had to catch me when I fell off the roof.
Yeah, I don't think that was as embarrassing as this.
I don't know. I tried to do a backflip off a roof and totally ate it that time.
Yeah, but this time you could have done like 17 backflips and still beat me.
To be fair, it's only like a 2-to-1 ratio to like how much she beat you. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, you just need to do like more running and stuff. Like, it's fun, especially when you can go like super fast and feel the wind in your hair.
If only there was like a Rocky training montage for this.
Yeah, we'll have to include that, you know, as a you know, something that our children had to witness.
When Dad would just
On
get up
home
every
video.
morning.
It's like shaky cam. There's like a pinky in front of it.
80s music. Yasuka and Pipiopia are both wearing sweatbands and elbow warmers or knee warmers, whatever those were.
Leg warmers.
Leg warmers, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, you guys find yourselves at the entrance to the canyon. You see there's kind of like 2 entrances right next to each other. One just seems an exit for the stream, just as wide as the stream, and then the other one about, I don't know, let's say 25 yards off to the right, seems to go in at an angle heading towards the river. I assume everyone else is caught up at this point.
Eventually. Saints, slow. We've been over this.
That's right. Sammy is slow.
Sammy should ride
like an hour.
Yasuka or Ethiopia.
If it's a mile, probably took Sammy, what, 15 minutes?
Exactly, yeah.
So we're just snacking, building up our stamina.
Yeah, 25 foot move speed. It takes you 2.5 hours to go 1 mile.
Oh, geez.
What?
If you're moving at like a traveling rate, so obviously like you're not sprinting or even like moving especially fast. If you're just hiking, right? It takes you 2.5 hours, or no, you go 2.5 miles per hour. Sorry, I was reading that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would take you, yeah, like 10-ish minutes, 10, 15 minutes to go a mile.
You all just like chilling, drinking some of that sweet, sweet water.
Is this water still sus like it was back down at ground level?
I forgot about the. Oh! I don't know.
Well, Yasuka doesn't trust it unless it doesn't seem sus anymore.
Well, she's not detecting any odd sort of vibes from it, if that's what you're getting at. It seems very clear.
That's probably good.
Too clear.
Huh?
I said almost too clear.
Almost. It's still clear. It's like
Yasuka's gonna
tiny
produce
crystals.
a couple of biscuits. We're like, I stole these from Captain Lady. I think she said they were like hardtack or whatever. Do you want to try them?
Yeah, why not? It doesn't sound that, but what else am I doing?
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Like, how could you expect it to be good if it's called hardtack? That's like bad marketing.
Maybe we should dip it in water to make it soft tack.
That's honestly not a bad idea. And Yasuka's like trying to take a bite out of it because this is not going well so far.
Get a strength check to see if your teeth break. No.
Alright, so anyway, PPOP and Yasuka are messing around with the remains of hardtack by the time everyone else catches up to us.
I've whittled mine down to a point and I'm using it as a dagger.
And it's working
Classic
too well.
Classic. Well, so you two are enjoying yourself, if I do say so.
Yeah, way more than you slowpokes.
Oh, come on now, let's go in this right channel here. Or it gets dark.
That is the one that does not
Flames in the
have the
dock.
river in it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Alright, well, Yasuka was going to argue for the other one, but if JB
Oh,
thinks we should go
well.
for the right side.
We can go to the other one. You see nothing.
Akalupu was going to vote that we send a scout ahead to just double check that this one does reach up to the river.
You said Akalupu's gonna scout ahead?
No, Akalupu said that we should send a scout ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you for volunteering, Akalupu. We'll build a monument to you here. We'll never forget your sacrifice.
Just to like double check that. Because if we don't have to wade through the river, that does seem nice.
Yeah.
Akalupu gonna volunteer anybody?
So how far is it from where we are now at the entrance of the canyon to the presumed end of the canyons, the start of the foothills?
About a day's journey, but you're gonna want to be very sure-footed up here. These rocks aren't what they seem. Catch my drift.
You mean that they're not rocks?
No, not what I said. I said they're not what they seem.
Well, they seem like rocks.
Well, be careful.
Because they're not rocks?
Because they may not be what they indeed seem to be.
Which is rocks.
Oh no. We lost Fort. Fort! Fort! Come back to us, Fort!
Come back to us, Hill?
Fort, you know, that sneaky little feller.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay,
I think
outside the game.
he's
Jason is
referring
gone.
to PPOP.
There we go. Oh my goodness, son. You had me worried there for a second. You're so sneaky, you just faded into the background.
Gone. What? Am I not on the right map?
No, you are. You just disappeared from Roll20 for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see you disappear, so I'm not sure what happened.
Told you, he was in his ghillie suit and he just like faded away into the background.
Oh,
JD
man,
was.
BPLP hasn't
lost
gotten to use
title.
that ghillie suit much.
Oh, well, he's got it on right now, obviously. That's why JD lost it.
There you go.
It's like a ghillie suit on my top half. It's just dangling halfway down my horse legs.
Just a horse butt walking around.
That's all you can see.
I'm singing about
And
everything.
thus, the headless horseman was born.
It makes perfect sense. How did we not see it before?
Right. The headless horse butt.
But I mean, I think that usually PPOB scouts ahead, but
Yeah, but if we
I'm
just
not
like follow the river, then we don't have to worry about scouting. It's like we know it'll get where we need to go.
Trust me when I say we won't take the right path. I've been up this way before. It really is the quickest way.
Despite all the rocks that are not rocks.
No, it's got the rocks everywhere. Listen here. The rocks, they're everywhere. Wherever they are, gotta watch out for them.
I think he's been eating too
But
much
hey,
gumbo.
you want to swim up the river? You can be my guest.
Because I'm right. Am I correct in the one that the river comes out of? Like, there's no room next to it to walk.
So you
like,
have
you
to
would
go
have to
like
walk
kind of into the river.
in the river.
You could like try and walk in the shallows of the river.
That's just why Akaloop was thinking we send up a scout real fast to see, just double check that the right path does, like, lead to the river.
Yeah, but if like JB has been this way before, then we like just go that way, right?
Hey, yeah, because we trust a man who eats only gumbo.
Now, what you saying about gumbo, son?
Just saying, we've already gone over the fact that you see things.
That's right, he does have wizard eyes. We did cover that.
Listen, son, everyone sees things. Now you're just not talking no sense now. Saying gumbo, you don't like some gumbo, and people don't see things. Listen, son, the blind leading the blind go to destruction. That's what that is there.
Hey, but I feel like it's worse when it's the blind leading the not blind, and the not blind just go with it.
Now listen, son, I know, I said I know. I know you ain't coming up in here, insulting my gumbo, insulting my vision, trying to do Lord knows what.
What? Insulting your gumbo? Just your vision. But hey, I say we go with it. We can always just watch our backs and double back if it turns out that he's wrong.
Yeah, JB is not blind, he's just special.
Hey.
See, there you go again,
Not as special as I am.
making them daggone good points. For real. Think the air is different up here or something.
Akaloop's going to start walking through the right.
Yeah, I think so. PPOP and Yasuke should probably take point since we have the highest perceptions in the group. And then Akalupa, if you want to take up Van in the back, just so that nobody attacks us from behind.
Yep, I can do that.
Alrighty. Are we ready?
Yep.
Hold on. There you go. I just noticed Anna's screen was like somewhere.
It's going to get there. I mean, I appreciate
Like
it.
it's a big map. I don't want you to be like, well, where the heck are we?
So much.
So as you guys enter the canyon, You do feel a little bit of a breeze coming from the canyon. You enter. At first, it's kind of quiet, but the farther and farther you go, the more and more you hear kind of the sound of a stream.
Are we in our current locations, or are you still describing us getting there?
Oh, no, you're in your current location, so you hear a stream.
All right. Well, Yasuka takes 10 steps forward and can see the stream.
Now, as you come around the bend in the canyon, you look down and you see the riverbed about, if I had to guess, I'd say 35 feet off. And you hear the sound of like a great rushing of water as well. And if you look to your right, you see an ominous looking cave. Dun, dun, dun.
No. Alright, Yasuka's gonna cast light on a rock and throw it into the cave.
It clatters into the cave. It is indeed a passage.
Well, guys, I guess we'll be climbing up the waterfall. Since we literally can't go into a cave unless it's raining.
Is that your weird, like, hang-ups again?
Yeah.
They're not weird hang-ups. They're self-defense mechanisms against lightning bolts.
Aye.
Well, you see JB kind of walk up, sniff the air a little bit, go lick his finger, put it up in the air, look around. Well, if we want to camp here further than that, it's going to start raining about 30 hours a day tomorrow.
OMG, I am so tired of waiting. There's no way we're gonna camp for a whole night. It's gonna take us all day to get to the frickin' hills as it is.
Well, do you want to get struck by lightning?
No, we're climbing the stupid waterfall. All we need is like one person to go up there and like set up a rope and we'll like go up like normal.
Akalupu, now you can use your shark powers.
Hey.
I feel like Spider Horse is probably an easier way to go up the cliff next to the waterfall than trying to swim up a waterfall, but I do kind of also want to see this.
I think we make it a
Akalupu used
competition.
waterfall. It was super effective.
Akalupu's gonna get ready at the base of the waterfall and is waiting for PPOB next to him.
He wants to like race you, PPOB.
Okay, so I'm climbing this cliff while he's climbing the waterfall?
I believe so.
Yes.
Alright, Spider Horse, engage!
All right, Akalupu,
Asuka,
give me
count us off.
an athletics roll.
All right, ready, set, go.
Also, give me a strength roll as well. Well, no, give me an athletics roll first.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Okay.
Strength or
Huh?
can I use
26.
my acrobatics since I'm climbing now?
I think since you have the ring, you don't roll. Is that not correct?
Not to just move at a normal speed, but for running, it would make sense for you to have a roll for that. Now, I will point out that like the odds of Akalupu succeeding at all are astronomically low, and PPOP could just casually walk up the cliff.
I'll do that. I'm actually gonna moonwalk up. Pull a Yasuka. I need to redeem myself.
You try. You don't even get a handhold on because it's a waterfall. It's a dang waterfall. It's a dang waterfall. I don't know what you want me to say.
How tall is the waterfall?
The waterfall is about 12 to 15 feet tall.
Okay, so that's basically just a jump. So it's really what she's trying to do is make a jump roll.
Yeah.
Specifically a high jump.
Roll and tell me if you can grab on to a freaking some rock purchase up there
Well, jumps is
while
athletics, right?
water is swiftly pouring off.
Jumps is athletics, right?
Sure.
Not a 26.
Okay, you don't succeed. Roll a 1d4.
Well, you said it was 15 feet tall, right?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
15-foot tall
So jumps.
Waterfall.
A
I
high
also
jump.
have underwater marauder, so I'm not flat-footed in water.
It's not about
Let's
being
see.
flat-footed in water. It's about trying to grab on to a freaking rock
Also,
that water is pouring off of at a high rate of velocity.
I'm also
And
a
not just a
combat
little bit of
climber,
water.
so I can climb with one hand.
I don't know what that has to do.
I'm into climbing.
Dude, you're gonna make me look up the qubits for
All right, so you get with a high jump roll. You was that a what did Anna get? 20 something?
26.
All right,
26.
So that's just a success, unfortunately. That would add 5 feet to a vertical distance. And you can leap up to, let's see, what is the normal vertical? Let's see, so you can move 15 feet horizontally if your speed is at least 30 feet, which, it's 25, right? Of course, I think you're faster in the water. Oh, it adds 5 feet to 3 feet. So no. Sadly, even with a high jump, you can't clear the cliff. Or the waterfall, I should say.
Give me a 1d4. You made me Google the flow rates of waterfalls and how much water is flowing.
Well, she's not going in the waterfall. It's like a salmon jumping a waterfall, right? She's trying to jump over it.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Okay.
I think it's the slash first.
I know.
Alright, take 2 points of damage. PPOP, you have successfully reached the top of the cliff. Unmolested.
Let's go. Redemption.
You want to give me a reflex save as well?
Oh, me?
Why?
Because, no, Akalupu. Because I assume you're trying not to flow down the stream or the river.
Well, how fast is this river? Because she has a natural swim speed.
Apparently, it's a very fast.
It's flowing at a pretty good clip.
Also, I only have a natural swim speed when I'm raging.
Oh, right.
16.
Okay. You managed to grab onto a rock as you were getting pulled away by the river after you attempted to jump over a waterfall.
Hey, jokes on PPOP since he didn't bring any rope with him.
Hey, I will still point out that Akalupu didn't just jump into a volcano.
I mean, this is true. At least, look, Manwanui knew the risks of success. They were not high. Manwanui didn't have a what's what I'm looking for. He didn't have a too much of an expectation of success.
That makes it even dumber that he tried.
Yeah.
All right, Agaloop. Are you gonna like throw a rope up to him, or are you just gonna like sit in the corner over here? I mean, like, it wasn't even like actually a real test because like you weren't even using your shark powers. I don't think we're supposed to go on that part of the canyon unless we want to be eaten by horrible monsters. Like, you want to be over here.
Correct.
Hakaluku is going to throw the rope to Yasuka. But then he's going to answer nature's call.
You're going to find a rock, you're going to write PPOP's name on it, and then you're going to answer nature's call.
Okay.
You're going to make a little coconut with his face on it.
All
right, Yasuo's gonna tie one end of the rope around a rock and then throw it up to PPOB.
All right. POP will tie it to something. Maybe like a horn of stone, if I can find one jutting out from the rock face.
It's pretty dang rocky, so you do in fact find a pretty good purchase for the rope. But be warned, the stones are also kind of jagged, so you might want to keep an extra eye on the rope.
Yeah, if you, as much as possible, you probably want to hold the rope and like pull people up so that it's not having to like rub against the rocks. The only one that'll be hard to get up is Akalupu. Everyone else is small enough, you should be fine. But if you get Yasuka up there, she could probably help you pull Akalupu up.
Yes.
I could just toss my climbing ring down as well.
You could. I don't know if you want to throw that 15 feet over a waterfall though. And then also there is also the fact that you have to attune to magic items, so that would add like an extra 15 minutes for each person attuning.
I just meant for Akalupu.
Ah, for Akalupu. Yeah, that might be worth it for Akalupu.
By the way, Grace Glimmer's gonna say, I always knew that you could do it, sweetie. She's gonna look at Yasuka and say, that's my son. You see, he uses his brain, and that's why he can beat. That's why he's just better than all his peers. Don't tell him I said that, but he is.
I hate to break it to you, but I actually have known your son longer than you have, so you're like not telling me anything new.
I'm glad that you know and can like appreciate how great my son is. But like a mother just knows certain things, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, I have
Anyway.
a deep connection to PPOP. I've like
Guys,
basically
stop gossiping down there and grab the rope.
Yeah, stop gossiping so I can grab the rope. Jeez.
Yeah, stop gossiping if you can grab the rope.
I'm already grabbing the rope. Look at me grabbing the rope.
Well, then just fine and stop chatterboxing. You chatterbox.
I'm already climbing. I'm like halfway up the cliff.
Oh my goodness. Well, stop chatting and start climbing.
I can't even hear you from up here. What are you saying?
I'm too busy focusing on trying to get you up that cliff to even know what you're talking about at this point.
All right. Who's next?
Stop chatterboxing and throw me the rope.
The rope's already down there. It's not like I carried it up with me. I climbed up it.
Oh my goodness. I'm already climbing up. I literally cannot even hear you.
I cannot hear you over the waterfall. What did you say?
What? I'm sorry. I'm too busy being proud of my son, who I share a deep spiritual bond with, at being his mother.
PPOP dunks his head in the river so he doesn't have to listen anymore.
A wise choice.
JB's just gonna climb up.
Cool. Yasuka will help with the rope.
Excuse me here. I'm just gonna squeeze by it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Get upstream here.
I feel like JB just very inappropriately sweats by both of them.
Don't worry about it.
Like, I think JB needs some like sensitivity training.
Nah, Yasuka was definitely tempted to be like, is that a gumbo pot in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Why usually it was a gumbo pot? No. Akalupu, do you think you could give me like a boost? It's kind of slippery here at the bottom.
Akalupa just throws her 15 feet into the air to the top of the cliff.
Cheers.
Although, isn't Sammy like in her 20s now?
Maybe.
Yep, Sammy's the same age as Akalupu and PPOP, so y'all are all in your like 20 to 23 age range. The only one who's
she
like
was just small when we were younger.
yeah, Sammy's always been really small. And then, of course, Manawanui has not been aging along with the rest of you, so Manawanui actually still does have a child's body.
Just a thanks,
Right.
guys. I'm just wearing a head helmet.
All right, we're up. We untie the rope. Do we need to roll perception?
Yes. Why don't you roll some perception?
Just roll a little perception.
Just do a little perception
All
check
right,
there.
Yasuka got a 20.
28.
Okay. You all see the river kind of goes up to the north a little bit. Looks deceptively it looks a lot shallower than it actually kind of is. Akalupu would definitely know that firsthand experience. As you in particular, PPR, you look around, you see a golden shaft of light seem to descend right here. But you do see the path north seems unobstructed now that you've gotten to this higher second tier. And if you want, you could just follow the river north.
Well, let's definitely check out the golden beam.
Yeah, maybe Excalibur or whatever is up there.
Just hear choir of angels.
Maybe it's the tower before the tower.
I mean, unless the tower goes like down instead of up, I think we'd be able to see the tower from this angle. All right, we're gonna continue along this way.
Yeah, I guess we have to cross eventually. There.
Jamie, watch out for those rocks. They might not be rocks.
Hey, don't. Just be careful. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I said. Be careful of the rocks. Look right there. There's a rock. You're standing on it. Oh my god.
No, this rock right here. Oh, this rock ain't nothing but a rock. This one we don't gotta worry about.
Well, that's
The
a
one
good.
that got your friend Akalupu back there, dragged him into the river. That's the one you gotta be worried.
Pretty sure Akalupu dragged himself into that river.
See, that's what they want you to think. And then you start doubting yourself, you start doubting your own abilities, and then next thing you know.
There, yeah, there's gonna hop over the river to this side. And go this way.
Is PPOP in his centaur form?
Yes, he leaps.
Gray Skimmer also leaps.
You can do a 5-foot jump for free as even a 25-foot move speed, I believe. I can check to be sure though. Let's see. Long jump. Oh yeah, it's a DC 5 to jump 5 feet.
Okay.
So you stride and then make a horizontal leap, attempt an athletics check to increase the length of the jump. The DC of the athletic check is equal to the total distance in feet you're attempting to move during the leap. So you need a DC 20 check to leap 20 feet. You can't leap further than your speed. Yeah, so I guess technically they could fail.
Do they have to roll?
Let's see. Total distance in feet you're attempting to move during your leap.
So does that mean we have to roll too?
Good grief, Akalupu, why do you have so much rope?
Oh, failure is you leap normally.
That's what I do.
I just like look at your inventory and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay, no. So that's only if you're going over the like standard. So yeah,
But, like,
a
just
5-foot jump
fly.
anyone could make.
Okay, cool beans. I'm sorry, Akalupu, I jumped. All right, Akalupu, as you get closer to the water, could I get a fortitude check?
Is this a physical effect or a mind effect? Because
A mind.
fortitude would be if he's like being poisoned. If it's something more like a charm or a mind altering effect, that's going to be a will save, not a fort save.
Can I get a will save instead, Akalupu?
13.
All right, you're feeling a little tired.
Yawn. I feel a little tired, guys.
Yeah, maybe you just like need to take a break and eat some jerky. Seems like meat usually gets you like energized.
Did you hit your head when you fell down the waterfall?
Like, do you know who you are and where you're at? Do you know who like the president is?
We don't have a president, so that's a trick question.
He seems pretty with it.
All right. Well, let's see what's up with this like weird kind of glowing golden aura thingy up here.
Yeah, maybe it'll actually be something good for once, like an angel instead of, like a mimic pretending to be an angel and then trying to eat our souls.
Like, has that act happened?
I mean, not that exact thing, but like mostly just bad stuff has happened on this island so far.
I mean, y'all met me, so it couldn't be all that bad.
I mean, only because like crocodigators were trying to eat us.
Well, when you look at it, crocodigators kind of brought us together.
Actually, I think that was the Meeps that brought us together.
Potato.
Alright. What is on
So
the top of this thing?
As you round the last little curve, you see what does in fact appear to be a celestial figure lying on a bed underneath a gazebo. It's like a bright light gilding this person. Kind of hard to make out at this point.
Well, this doesn't seem suspicious at all.
It's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
PPOP's gonna shout, "Hello!"
Figure does not.
Alright, Yaska's gonna use detect magic.
Okay, cool. Hold on 1 second. Need to look at something. Yeah. You do sense magic. I gotta tell you what kind of magic. So, because that's what detect magic does. It tells you the kind of magic, right?
So it used to, but I'm looking at the description now, and unless you heighten the spell, it gives you the presence or absence of magic, excluding things you already know about. So if you like are carrying the ring of power, you can not be like blasted, but like, oh my god, there's magic right there. And you can detect illusion magic if it has a lower level than the level of your detect magic spell. I'm However, items that have an illusion aura but aren't deceptive in appearance, such as an invisibility potion, typically are detected normally.
Well, you detect magic, then, I believe.
All right, well then I am going to roll Arcana to try and figure out more about this magic. 30.
All right. Well, you studying the feelings, the vibes you're getting, and you see that it is actually divine magic that you're sensing.
Wow, maybe it like is actually a angel and not a freaking demon trying to eat our souls. This demon is somehow casting this demon is somehow casting divine magic.
Should we approach it?
Normally Celestials are like not gonna murder you immediately, so it's probably okay. Unless like we broke one of their laws and it's like lawful good or something, and then it might kill us. Oh, good. Akalupu's already going to check out her booba.
Why don't you tell me what exactly you're doing, Akalupu?
Akalupu walks past everybody and has turned her over so that he can get a look at her.
He's done what?
She's like laying on the ground, right?
No, she's on like this kind of little like plinth.
Oh, well, Akalupu comes up next to her.
Okay.
And looks at her.
So you come up next to it, very kind of bright light. You do see that there's a plaque, but the light kind of fades a little bit as you enter the pavilion, and you see a familiar face. It is, in fact, your dear lost departed friend, the captain lady.
Right.
But she's wreathed in a golden light and in this kind of white silken gown.
Hey guys, it's not new booba. It's familiar booba.
Well, did she kill the Balrog and get reborn as Captain Lady the White now?
I have come back to you.
Akalupu is going to look at the plaque.
Yes, that is what you should call me. Captain Lady the Grey. I'm Captain Lady the White. I've come back to you. Yeah, so you look at the plinth, and it says, hold on. Oh wait, Akalupu has a necklace, so he can read it. Cool beans. Well, that's useful. Let me pull up my notes. You would think that I'd have this prepared. Well, to be fair, y'all took a circuitous route to this place, so...
We'll break all curses.
Huh?
It says, true love's kiss will break all curses.
Not far off. It says, so first off, you see that it has under the like big bold letters, here the queen lies, and then underneath it says where light kisses darkness is white.
Akalupu's gonna kiss her.
Nothing happens.
Hey, Mama, we need you up here.
Manawanui's gone.
What was the second line? Where light kisses darkness.
Oh, is life?
Is life. Okay.
Well, unless I assume Akalupu's telling this to y'all because it's in that script that Akalupu can read.
Yes, he is. He's yelling back what he sees.
As you hear,
do we have to stay here until like the sunset or something?
No, I think we just take her with us.
It seems like a plan to me.
Well, Akalupu, you kind of seem to be like the person who carries things around here, so...
Akalupu turns her into a
That's a quick
another
question.
human backpack.
What are you doing with the chalice as well?
Sammy has it.
Sammy has a chalice? What?
Or did Akalupa take it back? Last I heard, Sammy still had it.
I assumed Akalupa
No, I
took
think
it because it's a
Akalupa had
pretty
it 'cause
big
it's very
chalice.
heavy, and so he has it.
I don't
on
think
his back
Sammy
as well.
would have made it up the cliffs.
I think it's another belt hanging along with his two Tushi
Yes.
I mean,
masks,
it's a pretty
right?
big chalice.
Yeah, it's kind of hanging up like to the side. Actually, he uses it kind of like his. Have you ever seen like those baby carrying belts where it's like you kind of have it set up so that it like sticks out, and so you can put the baby's booty on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a little shelf.
Is it like where the baby's facing like the mama?
I mean,
From
you
the
can use
front?
them either way.
I mean,
Like, sometimes
Yasuka
put
could
them
just
on the
go
head,
unicorn form and carry Captain Lady. That's also fine.
It's also true.
Akalupu is going to carry both of them.
Okay. Both of who?
Chalice and the Captain Lady.
Oh, we said both of them. I think that like Yasuka and like why? Akalupa just picks up Yasuka.
The real question is why not?
I mean, if you can do it. And Akalupu has now, you have picked up the Captain Lady. She feels cold, but like she's not dead.
All right.
But she's not.
Sammy,
Also-
get up here and roll a health check on her.
Oh, okay.
Because Sammy is slow.
All right, and while
Sammy
Sammy
is
is getting up here trying to do that, Yasuka's gonna take the magic angle. She's gonna roll Arcana, see if she can figure anything out. So Yasuka got a 24 to try and figure out what's going on with Captain Lady, magic wise.
Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. All right. So you. This is a quick question. What kind of things does Arcana like allow you to find out?
Arcana measures how much you know about the arcane and arcane magic and creatures. You use it to recall knowledge.
Okay. So I don't know if this is going to be helpful or not, I guess, but you find that she's in some sort of stasis spell. Is that the kind of things that like it will reveal?
Yep, that would be something that would make sense for you to learn with Arcana. Like you're basically looking at what's going on, trying to figure out from a magic angle what's wrong with her. The same way that like you would use a medicine check to see if someone has a broken leg, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool beans. Well, she appears to be alive, but at the same time, doesn't appear to be asleep. It's kind of cold to the touch, but you can see at least that her heart is beating. But that's about all I know. I'm not gonna lie. As she kind of just like not mutters off. What do you call it when someone slowly kind of gets quieter and quieter and they kind of just trails off. There we go. She slowly trails off.
All right. Well, like it seems to be some sort of a stasis spell, but this is like really powerful. Normally you can like put someone in stasis for like maybe 16 seconds at the most. Or not 16, 18 seconds at the most. But like somehow this is pretty powerful magic, so that is concerning.
That seems to be a pretty specific guess there. You often put people in these stasis.
I mean, it's a spell called stasis, and yeah, if they like really can't resist it or whatever, it'll do like, maybe 3 theoretical rounds of combat or something.
Explain to me this round system.
Explain to me what you mean by rocks that aren't rocks, JB.
Hey, I've been very clear.
Yeah, so was I. So, like, I'm not answering your question either.
Look, we can sit around all day and talk about what in fact a horse is, or we can just move on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already moving.
After you've taken her off, Mother, you notice she kind of like does not glow as brightly. It's a very, very dim glow now. All right. Keep following this river here north. Wow. Although I don't know how we're going to get back across the river here. Hey, if we cross, well, I mean, like with that incapacitated lady, are you sure she just hasn't, maybe partaken a little bit too much in the the stale swamp waters, I like to call it.
Yeah, well, I don't know how, like, swamp shine works, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't make you, like, glow and magical, so yeah, pretty sure not that.
I mean, I've had some quite some interesting beverages, let me just say, in the past.
Yeah, well, if you're crushing up glow bugs into your whiskey, that is just mean and gross.
Hey. Don't knock it till you try it.
No thank you.
Also, oh my goodness, Okarup. Just like jumps down from the top.
Walked around.
Are we ready? Ooh. Look at these some berry bushes here. JB says he starts plucking some berries and eating them. Don't mind if I do.
Akalubu is going to lean over to PPOP and say, I vote we let him try them first and see if it's poisonous.
You see him pluck some berries. Starts throwing them up, throwing them up into the air and like catching them with his mouth.
Jax will be like, yeah, I've heard of this as like a survival tactic. Like you feed it to an animal first and then you like give it a few hours and like if it doesn't die or shit itself to death, then like it's probably safe.
I think that's the route we should take. We can go ahead and pick some anyways for a case if it's poisonous.
Yasuka's gonna jump back over to the other side of the river, continue on this side.
Jeremy's also gonna jump over. Hey, being encumbered doesn't like change how much you like how far you can like do a default jump, right?
It would, but it's still 5 feet. Like Akalupu could just take a big step, I would imagine. I can take not quite a 5-foot step. I could come pretty close.
I mean, Akalupu's kind of a insane human. It's kind of like a freaking behemoth. I'm gonna walk around this way. Oh, I don't gotta be so close to the water. You might say, JB, when you said water there, kind of sounded like your accent changed a little bit to water. But that would just be incorrect. You've been eating too many of them berries.
What's the matter? Is there like water that isn't water that we need to be scared of as well?
Oh, don't even get me started on the good grief. I can't stop. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started on how I park the car in Boston Yard.
Don't get me started. Gonna give me a heart attack. So at this point, you notice that it is, in fact, getting a bit late in the day. You guys can continue on, but you're kind of going up in elevation.
All right, well, I haven't seen anywhere good to camp yet, so Yasuka is in favor of continuing.
There's that giant opening full of skeletons over there. That looks perfect to camp in.
Yeah, to be fair, usually when we leave places, there are more skeletons than when we, arrive. All right, so what is ahead of us? You said it's going up, but
So
other than
ahead, as you continue to travel on, you look ahead, you see that the river's getting less windy, the cliffs are less extreme, and it starts to gently slope up into like the foothills. And you find that your path is kind of going again to the right of the river, but at this point you can kind of see clearly enough that it seems that the path that you're on will take you out of the canyons and into the foothills.
All right, and about how many hours of daylight do we have left?
You have about an hour and a half. Interesting.
All right, well, I mean, I imagine we should be able to at least get out of the canyon before that, so let's aim for that.
All right. So y'all are walking for a while. Starts to get a little bit more dark. Canyon slowly gives away into these green, grassy foothills. That's something that you've kind of noticed, that this upper part of the island is a pretty different climate than to the lower part, where the lower part is a lot more jungly and overgrown. It still seems to be green, but definitely a lot more rocky and a lot less larger plant life. So,
is Akalubu starting to feel more at home with his Scottish accent in the Highlands?
You could say that Akalupu is starting to feel more at home. Maybe feels like elongating his butt flap to encompass both of his legs and kind of go down to his knees. He just sees a sheep and he's like, you know what? I bet if I took the stomach of that thing, I could make a pretty sick instrument.
Yeah. Also, just stuff it full of oatmeal and a bunch of other random things and cook it.
Akalupu is starting to feel very, very at home.
Akalupu would eat haggis.
Akalupu would eat haggis. Especially since he's got like a vendetta against goats.
That's true. They wounded his manhood once upon a time.
They did.
I thought it was sheep.
Yeah.
Goats, sheep.
And yes, it was
creatures.
sheep on your island, not goats, but...
Which I feel like is even more applicable to...
Right, I'm saying I think
Akalupu.
haggis is traditionally sheep, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it is as well.
Yep, it is.
So Akalupu probably has already had haggis.
Well, the downside is y'all were only just discovering cooking when you left your island, and haggis definitely requires cooking.
Yeah, but Akalupu was also the main person who was cooking things, and
Yeah, but you also didn't have agriculture to
Right, some weird
grow grain crops either.
Akalupu made the carnivore haggis.
There you go. Just meat in a goat's stomach. Or a sheep's stomach.
Alright, as you continue on, you notice that the terrain's getting a bit more steep as you start to come, and more rocky as you start to come to the top of foothills, or as you start to like enter the foothills, I should say. Not rocky as in the how the canyons were, but like as in there's just less grass and there's more just like rock faces,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. You do come to a nook between two hills where there is sufficient enough shelter. You still have about like a half hour of daylight, but it seems like it would be probably another hour and a half to the top of the foothills if you wish to camp, or you can continue on into the night.
Can we still see the tower from here?
You've actually gotten too close to the base of the foothills.
All
And
right,
it's
so
cut off
we can't
the
really
top of
tell
the
how
tower.
close the tower is at this point.
Well, you've gotten close enough that the hills have like cut off the vision of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All
But you
right. Well, I
definitely
guess
be able
this
to tell
seems like
at the
as
top.
yeah. Well, I guess this seems like as good a place as anywhere to make camp for the night.
I suppose. JP's gonna say, I see now has quite the handful of berries that he's just munching away on. I'll say, these berries, oof, so sweet, so good.
Yeah, but they're not even like gumbo.
No, now there, trust me, my stomach is telling me that. Oh, it is indeed. What?
You should probably lay off the berries a little bit before you end up with the runs.
Hey, look, now I've eaten quite a few strange things in my life. I don't think this little berry here is capable of doing me in. Catch my meaning.
It doesn't matter whether or not it's gonna like hurt you. If you eat too much fruit, it's gonna be like bad because there's not enough like fiber and stuff to go straight through you.
See, I was with you, and then you lost me. At the five. That fancy talk.
Right on
Jamie's-
the mat. That's impossible to clean. Thanks, buddy.
Oh no!
Midnight just make a mess.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll get it later.
Yeah, JB's gonna be like, who was it that we were playing Jackbox and I guess some celebrity had tweeted that it felt like there was a giant meatloaf in his gut?
Oh my gosh, what was that? I do remember what you're talking about.
I don't remember who it was, but that's gonna be JB. Just like way too many steaks with no fiber.
Speaking of food, he's going to break out his famous gumbo pot. Gray Sliver is gonna walk up and say, "Hey, Jessica, do you have any more of those like smoothie making materials that you kind of were making?" Not gonna lie, I've been kind of craving one all day.
Yeah, unfortunately, fruit doesn't like travel very well, so I didn't really bring any. So you want to try like JB's, berries?
I mean, like, I'm not the most accomplished nature survival person. I mean, like, maybe I am, because I've kind of survived out here all by myself for quite a while. But that's beside the point. But, like, a lot of times, things that are, like, bright red like that, they're just no bueno.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of what I'm thinking. I do not trust those berries for even, like, half a second.
Like, right? And especially, like, after I've seen what JV eats, he eats that fleshy stuff. That.
Right? I'm pretty sure he could eat rocks and be fine.
Kind of like a chicken, if you think about it.
Yeah, kind of like a chicken.
Well, I guess I'll just have to go try and forage some Fun meat.
All right.
Just gonna go off and start poking around.
Cool. I mean, at this altitude, there should probably be some root plants that are edible. I don't know if she would know which ones, but especially by a river. Pipiopi and Yasuka are going to start setting up traps as per usual. Akalupu, you can start getting dinner moving with JB.
I'm also watching to make sure JB does not put berries in the gumbo.
Yes, please do that.
Sorry, guys, they're just some friendly berries. You guys want to just eat some yummy looking berries?
Akalubu is going to very much not like berries. Hey, why don't we just take the berries and make them a part of a dessert and not the main meal?
My goodness. It's like this altitude is getting y'all some good sense, finally. You know what? I'm going to leave you in charge of that, because we all know I'm the gumbo expert here.
Oh no, the berries just fell in the river. So sad.
Oh,
They're floating away. Oh no.
not the berries! No. Man, I was just thinking about how to make a special gumbo for those two. So he's going to go back to making that. Sammy's going to go up to PPOP, not PPOP, Aqua, and like, I kind of wanted to check on her to see if she was still okay with that. Okay, Aqua, if you could just set her down. Aqua,
Hi.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, I don't have any idea how to, like, dispel magic. That's more like BlackRock's whole deal.
well, my mom kind of was the chief, one of the elders, and she...
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't?
No, she wasn't. She had a completely separate role. So the elders were Loki and Bob Ross, and Pele was the witch doctor.
Okay, well, that's what Sammy's getting at. Anyways, that her mom was her mom used some unconventional methods to heal folk.
No, those are perfectly conventional methods in this world.
Well, conventional to her people, yeah. But you know,
yeah, well,
like
whatever it is, it's definitely gonna be more helpful than like Mako with his stupid like anti-venom. So like, go for it.
Yeah. So she's gonna start a little fire of her own. Start like, maybe like cooking down some roots and stuff like that. Kind of burning some, I don't know, plant life over her.
Yeah, doing some incense.
Yeah. What's Akalupu up to?
He's watching JB to make sure JB does not put berries in the gumbo.
You know the berries? Akalupu threw the berries in the river.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how many berries JB is holding back.
That's a good point.
Akalupu does not trust JB.
Hey, JB has done nothing to inspire mistrust. JB has been the most honest and helpful person on this whole island.
He's been about as honest and helpful as Mako.
No, he's definitely been more honest and helpful than Mako.
Yeah, JB never did anything like suspicious in the jungle, and he saved you guys from the Crocker Gators.
That's true. But as far as we know, Mako was doing the anti-venom stuff that he said.
Yeah, he could have actually been doing anti-venom.
Yasuka's not convinced.
Never know. Alright. So as the night kind of drags on, it's getting actually a lot colder up here than it did down there at night. Kind of dropping into like the lower 50s, upper 40s, which is quite a difference compared to the more warmer climate down below. There's also a lot more wind up here.
All right. Well, good thing we're on the leeward side of the hill.
Yes. But you hear it. You hear it whistling. You hear that.
All right. Well, I believe you, but it's not coming across on the mic. Yasuka is definitely putting her bedroll suspiciously close to PPOB's.
As per usual.
Oh yes, as per usual.
The standard operating procedure.
Just really scooching them in there.
You know, it's colder up here than it is down there.
Yeah, we need to huddle up for warmth.
We need to share the body heat. You don't want anybody getting hyperthermic now. That's just irresponsible.
Yeah.
So as y'all kind of get ready to bed down, the sun has truly now set.
Captain Lady
not
didn't
even just-
wake up when the sun set.
Oddly, she has not woken
Sag.
up when the sun set.
I was hoping that's where the light kisses darkness's life meant.
We'll never know. Well, we'll eventually know. We'll never know. You just haul around for like freaking a sleep corpse for.
I mean, we could always just do. I mean, if it's a stasis spell, she's suspended in time, so it's not like she'll age or anything. We can always go a Sleeping Beauty route and just put her in a glass coffin for her to be someone else's problem.
She's like, no. Yes, kids. You know, when it's like the 5th generation, it's like, oh yeah, this is Captain Lady who never actually woke up. Legend has it that Akalupu slayed the monsters of the mountain himself to save her, but it was too late, and I don't know, whatever Akalupu makes up and then gets embellished by his descendants and their descendants.
Exactly.
So on. Anywho, so the stars are out, the moon is shining, and you think you hear something odd on the wind. If you strain to hear, it sounds like a little teen voice.
Does this sound like the singing that has been making people fall unconscious this entire time?
Kind of, but it's now only a single voice.
I better keep the double-sided flute handy.
To use it right, you have to know what it's called. But it's kind of weird.
We're screwed, guys. It's over.
Campaign over. They all died. But it's not very loud. Hear it just every time the wind blows particularly hard. You think you hear it coming from the mountaintop, or not the mountaintop, like from over the hills.
All right, well, unless JB wants to go try and find the source.
Hello?
Hello?
There we go. I thought I kept hearing someone try and talk.
Nope, I just said unless JB wants to go and try and find the source.
Nah, JB knows better than to follow strange voices in the night.
Exactly. Don't want to be chasing banshees.
No. Not that there is a banshee to be chased, that is.
Yeah, definitely.
No, definitely not.
All right, so we'll do shifts for the night watch. We'll do PPOP, then Yasuka, then Akalupu, then Sammy, I guess. We've lost our main night watchman. Got kidnapped.
I know. You guys don't know what you guys have until she's gone. Alrighty.
We need to stop
And would this
letting NPCs out of our sight. Like, we need to tie up anyone who's within like a 30-yard radius of us anytime our eyes are not directly on them.
We can't let
Worry
the plot
about
happen.
This is like keeps happening to us. First, a crazy guy tries to summon tentacle monsters and kill then Manoa Nui gets kidnapped. Like, this has been a trend so far on this island.
It's just an enchanting island. What can you say? The land of enchantment. All right, so PPOP for your first shift. Kind of hear again. You hear that lilting voice singing what sounds like a very sad song, and you feel it calling to your soul. Feel a very strong urge to go, just to go a little bit further out of the camp and just to see what's going on.
I'm going to resist that urge.
As you sit, the wind blowing, you looking out into the darkness. You see what looks like moving shapes in the darkness, but you can't quite tell if it's your eyes playing tricks on you or if it's something actually there. You see movement, or what you think is maybe movement.
Okay, I'm gonna draw a dagger and wake Yasuka.
What is it?
Something's moving. Be quiet.
Yasuka's gonna mostly wake up at that and kind of roll over, look out the direction he's pointing.
You see darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm
You want
again
me to,
gonna
like-
resist the urge to look closer, and I'm just gonna stay at camp.
Do you want me to like cast light on a rock and throw it out there again?
Maybe just keep watch with me, and I'll stay up with you for your watch.
Yeah, honestly, if there's like weird stuff trying to lure us out, we should probably all do watches as like a group so that one of us doesn't just like disappear in the night again.
No, that would never happen.
All right,
Right, so
we're gonna do a double watch.
Right, so as you are now together watching, are you all just silent, just looking into the darkness?
I'm sure we're chatting a little bit.
As you're chatting, making small talk, talking about the weather, talking about horse stuff, running,
Making up
racing.
stories about what we think Manoa Nui's been getting up to without us.
Oh, that Manoa Nui. Each of you in turn think you see shifting shapes in the shadows, but like almost at the edge of vision. If that makes sense. So like that effect that like when you're kind of lying in bed and you're looking into like the dark corners of your room, you think you see movement, but you're not really sure, and you can be like, yeah, probably nothing.
Should we roll a perception check?
If you would like.
28 again.
Yeah, 23 from Yasuka.
Right, as you peer deeper into the darkness, you see, it seems the harder you look, the more shadows and shapes that you see.
Are they moving toward us?
It's really hard to tell. They seem to be just kind of moving in odd patterns that are very hard to discern, like what direction they're moving. Sometimes they seem closer, sometimes they seem farther away. Sometimes they don't seem to be moving farther or closer, and just sort of shifting to and fro.
Oh, yay. It's probably rocks that are like not rocks or whatever.
You just hear from the camp, I told you.
Well, you go out and deal with them then.
Hey, I'm asleep. I'm trying to sleep back here. Stop
Shut
shouting and
up.
looking on the camera.
It is sleep talking again. Just ignore him. He does this all the time. It's super annoying.
Just sleep bantering.
If he keeps doing it for too long, just put like a stinky sock on his face. That shuts him up pretty quick. All right. Well, I mean, there's nothing to do unless we want to like wander out by ourselves, which is stupid, other than to wait. So that's what we're gonna do.
Well,
Yep.
you wait, and the longer you wait, the more they kind of seem to fade into the night.
Yeah, you better be scared, not rocks.
And before you know it, your shift seems to be over, or at least it seems to it seems to you that enough time has passed that your shift would be over.
All right. Well, then
You
we're
see the
gonna
moon
go
slowly
wake up.
cresting over the
We're gonna wake
mountain.
up Akalupu and Sammy then, so they can do theirs.
Yeah, we'll update them on the double shift and
Yeah.
the wackiness.
Yeah. Explain the like the
And we'll-
compulsion to leave and that you should not, and also weird shadows. And we're
Sammy's
gonna
still kind of
tell
rubbing
Sammy
their-
that if anything goes, if Akalupu starts wandering off, just to start yelling for all of us so that we can stop him, because we know Sammy's not gonna be able to stop Akalupu.
It's like that, like, you know, when someone's like standing in front of something, like trying to like push them back, but they're just being like pushed with them.
Yep, exactly.
Samuel. All right. I mean, sounds good. She's gonna, all right, Akalupu, come on. She's gonna try and like shake Akalupu.
Akalupu's awake.
Oh, okay.
Akalupu, though, does tie a rope.
Oh no! I mean, the Akalupu.
It's like a long enough rope that, like,
She just gets dragged into the darkness. Guys, save me!
Akalupu just doesn't trust her not to, like, sneak away.
We just
Sneak
wake
away.
up. We wake up right in time for that horror movie moment where someone is like
Yeah.
only half visible, like their front half, clinging onto rocks, and then suddenly gets just like jerked off into the darkness.
Yes, yes, that is what's gonna happen. No. All right. So as your shift begins, Akalupu, you sit down. You have yourself a nice little sneeze. Start looking off into the darkness. Yeah, it seems pretty normal. You don't see any of these weird shadow shifting things that they were talking about. I think maybe they might have been hitting the devil's reefer or the devil's mushroom, I guess.
Akalupu trusts him.
Sit watching. Sammy's gonna yawn.
Sammy can just make coffee. That's like one of her things. Is her blood eye coffee,
Right. Sammy's gonna go make coffee. You
and
want
it's not just
coffee?
coffee. It's coffee.
It's coffee. Would you like a cup of Akalupu?
Yeah.
She's gonna start doing that. Kind of turns her back, kind of makes a little, because you're about like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 paces from the campfire at most. So like she can easily see you from the campfire. You can easily see her.
Yeah.
It's not like she's leaving you out like 50 yards in like like a foxhole or something. And she's gonna go start making some blood eye coffee. And you hear a rustle around. You sort of kind of take out some little tin sounding pot sound. I guess you don't really know what tin sounds like, but yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't
some
have
swinging.
metal at all, so
Well,
I don't know
she's
where
going
Sammy would have
to-
gotten a metal pot.
It's
She's
just
going-
very thin rock.
She's going to take out for stoneware then.
I mean, probably you would just use leather for something like this. Like, you have to be careful with it, but you can boil water in leather.
You can?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it too close to the fire, you'll burn it. But if you keep it
Okay.
far enough away, like that's how people used to make tea and other hot beverages.
Well, you're gonna hear her get out some roots and stuff from her bag, and you hear like the sound of like a little mortar and pestle trying to grind up some of these roots and stuff together into a nice powdery substance. And you hear some rustling around, some water pouring, and as she's doing that, you actually do start to see some ships, some shafts. I'll move in here. And can I get a will save from Akalupu?
No, there's nobody else get this.
Well,
I'm going to use a hero point.
Huh?
I'm going to use the hero
I
point.
could have got a 0. I'm like, that's not possible.
No, but I did roll a 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a good time to use a hero point for sure.
Legit, when she saw Sammy getting pulled into the river. What?
15.
All right. You see your dad. You think you see your dad just kind of like chilling out there. He's waving at you.
Hello, dead dad. I've been seeing a lot of you
Is your
recently.
dad dead? I
Yes.
thought his dad just disappeared on like a voyage.
No, Akalupu's dad is dead.
Okay. Well, you see your dead father. That's odd. But he looks alive and well.
Hello, dead dad.
And next to him, you see your mother as well.
Oh, did Mum die while I was gone? That's a bit sad.
And she starts waving at you, kind of like beckoning you like to come out into the darkness.
Thanks, I think I'll stay here.
And then, remarkably enough, you see your brother Kawalaka out there as well.
Well, now I know this can't be real.
What is that?
Because he's not dead.
Well, neither is your mom.
Yeah, but I mean, she could die one.
What, Kawalaka's like some immortal deity?
Of course. He's my little big brother.
All right. You see, your whole family kind of out there, kind of gesturing for you to come out.
Thanks, you can come here though.
They don't seem to like quite hear you. Are you like actually audibly talking?
Yes.
Okay. Akalupu, what are you talking to me?
I'm talking to my dead family over there, though I don't think it's really them. Because Paul Locke is over there, and we all know he can't die.
What? She's gonna sit down her mortal and pestle and come up to you. Akalupu,
They're right over there. Oh, you can't see them? Ah, that makes sense. Probably just the crazy mist.
Akalupu, when you say the crazy mist, what are you talking about?
Hey, you know,
What?
crazy mists on the island. The weird shifting shadows that aren't shifting shadows, and the rocks that are the rocks.
That
The
looks
wizard
like
eyes.
The water that isn't water.
that.
Tower that you have to enter before you get to the tower. It's just par for the course with this island.
Oh, and you said your brother.
Yeah, but that's how I know it's not real.
Okay. I'm glad. Um. Uh, um, uh, I'm gonna make the coffee out here. I think the water's hot enough. She's gonna go back and like grab the water and stuff. And starts making it beside you, but she's definitely like paying attention to you a lot more than she is to like making that coffee.
Just sitting there.
Huh?
So I'm just sitting there, waiting for the coffee.
She's gonna give you a little Do we have cups? What kind of things do we have?
On the island, y'all
receptacles.
used like hollowed out coconuts.
There we go. She's gonna give you a hollowed out coconut full of lukewarm blood eye coffee.
Thanks, Sparkle is gonna drink it.
The rest of the night passes. Well, I was gonna say without incident, but you occasionally see your family out there, just chilling, like walking around. If you look away, they kind of and look back, they're not there anymore. But then you'll see them like a little farther off.
I'm gonna sit there. Watch.
So wait a second. Yaska does have Dispel Magic. Alright, that's the thing for tomorrow morning.
All right, and the rest of the night passes without further incident. The sun starts to rise.
Akalupu.
You say Akalupu goes to sleep?
Yes.
Do you fall asleep like as soon as his watch ended, or like sometime later?
After like other people started to get up.
Oh, okay. Oh. JB's gonna get up. Like, oh. Whew. Well, good morning. I think there's some leftover gumbo from last night. Don't mind if I do. Just gonna eat some very cold gumbo that's left in the gumbo pot for breakfast.
Mr. GM, may I request a stopping point?
No. We will finish this campaign tonight. Yes, this is actually a great place to stop.
Yep, I was also going to suggest stopping here because we're just about hitting 2 hours.
All right. Well, let's wrap up with what we all learned. What did Akalupu learn?
Akalupu learned he's not a salmon.
He's not a salmon?
Yep.
Oh. Yes. Very important life lesson.
You know, if you'd been raging, then you could have been a salmon. You know, you need those fish powers.
You really do. What did Pipiopi learn?
Pidiopi learned he has a lot to learn to get his horse legs.
All right. What did the Yasuka learn? I'm sorry. It's going blank.
Yasuka learned that no matter how far we go, everything is always further away than she thinks it is.
All right. And, Sammy learned that she doesn't really feel comfortable being tied to Akalupu at night. She has very vivid images of Akalupu dragging her into the darkness to chase his family.
Yeah, she can't decide whether it's more comforting that he realized it wasn't real or just disturbing at how nonchalant he was about
Yes.
the whole thing. But to be fair, that has just been par for the course for this island. So,
I mean, there have been quite a few instances.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. And join us next time as we finish up or reach the climactic end.
Join us next time for the thrilling conclusion of Dinosaur Island.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. All right, everyone. I will